stopped using that. I'm using I can't remember what one I'm using now. I'm using another sat nav for app, which chooses suitable routes for my speed of my car. So it avoids 70-mile-an-hour roads, that kind of thing, most of the time. That does send me down 50-mile-an-hour roads occasionally, which I prefer to avoid. But actually, in some circumstances, there isn't a 30-mile-an-hour road you can use. You have to briefly go on to 40-mile-an-hour roads to get anywhere. Cyclists have the same problem. You can choose slow roads and cycle paths, but every now and again the cycle paths disappear. There's no slow road to go on, and you end up on a dual carriageway on a bicycle, which is I've done myself. I used to cycle from East Ham to Brentwood on the A13 A127. Yeah. All right, so what do I think of this car? I'm enjoying it. It's a challenge. If you don't want a challenge, if you want to just get in the car, always be comfortable, always have enough mileage to do what you want every day, without having to worry about charging it, then this isn't the car for you. For instance, yesterday I could have done. Even today I could do 2 runs to the lock-up, clear out my storage unit, and close it down today. But this car doesn't have enough juice in it this time of year. I mean, I could do it on in the summer. I could do 2 journeys with this thing and clear out my locker, but I'm not going to be able to do that today. It takes 3 hours to charge. I suppose I could come back and put a bit of extra juice in it and go back again. We'll see. But yeah, it takes 3 hours. It takes 4 hours to charge in the winter, in actual facts. So you lose up all your mileage. 35 miles is used up, and if you want to do anything else, you're going to have to charge the car again, and it charges at a maximum of 15 miles an hour. So if you've done a trip to and from Southend, which is 20 miles round trip, in the winter you've only got to have about 15 miles of range left when you get back, and if you want to do anything else, you're going to have to charge it for at least an hour. So when I get back from this trip to Southend, I'm going to have about 15 miles of range left. It'll indicate more, but I'm not getting that sort of mileage. I only have about 50 miles of range left. So if I wanted to do anything else other than just drop my wife off to work on a 5-mile round trip, I'd need to charge it for an hour, put another 15 miles of range back into it. And actually, that 15 miles isn't 15 miles anymore, is it? It's more like 10 in this weather. So yeah, if you want to use your car more than once a day and do more than 35 miles in a day, then this definitely isn't a car for you. I mean, in the summer, I was getting the full 45 miles out of it. That's a much more useful number. But 35 is it's not much. It's enough for my needs, but it doesn't leave any extra in the tank in case I need to do something else with it later on in the day. Most days I'm doing 10 miles. I'm dropping my wife off to work and then picking her up again. So that's 10 miles. 5 miles in the evening and 5 miles in the morning. That's 10 miles. I can do that. I can do 3 days of that without having to charge the car. Unfortunately, she only works 3 nights a week, so that's adequate for my immediate needs. Things like supermarket shopping can fit into that sort of mileage, because the one of my supermarkets that I use is on the route or just off the route home from dropping my wife off to work. So I can do the week's shopping and the week's commuting on about 35 miles easily. It's not a problem. But anything else, like going off to Southend to pick up stuff from the storage unit, or going off to somewhere else other than Southend or Asda, I'd have to charge more than once a week, and I'd probably have to charge during peak times, which will, well, I say peak, I'd have to pay something like 25p a kilowatt hour, as opposed to 3p a kilowatt hour to charge it during the day. Charging at night is overnight, so you can only do it once a night, and the rates come up again at sort of 9 o'clock and stay reasonably high for most of the day. So last night it cost me 30p to charge this thing up, less than 30p, and but if I was to charge it during the day, it would cost about £1, so 3 times as much. But it's talking no money at all, really. To be perfectly honest, it's no money at all. So even if you had to charge it during the day on the highest, which they charged me something like 45p a kilowatt hour between 4 and 7. If I had to do it then, it would cost £2 to fully charge the car, probably, which, compared to 30p is a big hike, but it's okay, isn't it? £2, 45 miles of driving. It's not bad at all. Well, 35 miles of driving at the moment, so they have to bear that in mind, I suppose. Okay, I'm probably not going to post most of this because I've been rambling like a rambly thing, but that's it. 1,012 miles on the clock, and I'm still pretty happy with it, apart from the misting, the seat, and loss of power in the cold.